Hello, beautiful beings. I just have to share with you that I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I can't even verbalize it really. I can't. Ancients, can you? Hmm. Okay, here's an example. So, one of my last videos is titled, I to thine own self be trued. I've been talking about work off and on in my videos because that's what my life experience has been. Um, it's been the presenter for a while now. So, I've been having quite a bit of anxiety and fear sheds around that, just letting go of old behaviors and, setting new boundaries for myself. It's so scary, but it's so amazingly empowering. Not ego empowering, but oh man. So I've cleaned that place with my boss the last 2 Wednesdays, and it is Friday today. And so we cleaned it last Wednesday together, and it did not take as long as it did the first time. And since I know what she's thinking, when when we were almost done, she said, "That didn't take very long at all." Translation, see? And the way she said it too, because people perceive me as, because I'm so sensitive, they only perceive the sensitive as what they're like, oh, she's just sensitive. If I can help her out a little bit, be here with her, support her, get her used to it, and show her that it's not that bad, then she'll be able to do it. If it was just that kind of sensitive, I would have, it wouldn't be an issue. I'm not that kind of sensitive, but people don't understand that. So, I knew she was thinking that, and I felt a little frustration about that, and then I was just like, whatever. She can think whatever she wants. The ancients have been saying lately, remember, it's none of your business what other people think of you. You are a clear open channel, outgoing. It doesn't matter what is coming in from severely unconscious beings. It does not matter because it's just thoughts. So when we got done, well, the whole time we were cleaning, I have my headphones on, I'm listening to music, and I didn't have anxiety that morning about it, because my boss was going to be there. And since it was so easy, I got in my car, and I thought, well, that was really easy. And since I knew what she was thinking and feeling, it started bothering me. And by the time I got home, I was in the kitchen and I said, Ancients, why am I thinking about this? Why? Because it's quiet. Because I am present most of the time now. And well, that's our true nature, but it takes a while to just like, they're saying from stick shift to automatic. So, I was just like, okay, so why is this bothering me? Why am I thinking about this? And they said, because you're trying to use logic to make yourself be able to fit into cleaning this house. Because logically, there's no reason I wouldn't be able to do it. But vibrationally, and the gifts that I have, being a clear open channel, make it to where regular, normal situations that other people could handle no problem, I am so open to everybody's energy and how they're feeling and what they're thinking. A lot of the times, clearly, what they're thinking, because it's not just what they're thinking. The ancients are showing me how I pick up on, like, the man of the house. He's there because he works out of the house. That's where his office is, and we didn't go in his office last time, but we went in this time. And before that, he had many different reasons for coming in the room that I was in, and when that happens, since really there's not usually a lot of people in my physical experience, when somebody does come into my experience, well, yeah, they're saying with a lot of practice also, and just, I love spidey senses. It's true, everybody has spidey senses. It's just a matter of really like retuning into our natural spidey senses. And I picked up on him. Super friendly, really, really nice. Um, um, anyway, so so I was just like, okay, talking to them, and they're like, you're trying to use logic to, fit yourself into this. And since I didn't call her and say, you know what, that wasn't too bad, I think I can do it, I held off. I called my youngest daughter, I call her baby, she's 28. And I told her that I was thinking about doing that. And after I talked to her, I was just like, okay, I'm just going to hold off for a little bit. And, through the last couple days, I have just this ascension process is so beautiful. It's so beautifully painful. However, it's also freedom producing, because because only making decisions for my highest good and not reacting from any type of uncomfortableness, any type of conditioning to, I should be really good. I should be a really good employee. I should take the pressure off of her. None of that. I ignored all of it. Ignore, 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 ignore. To presence, silence. That's where all my answers come from. Crystal clear clarity. And so the clarity that's been coming is, yes, when somebody is operating at a super high vibration, like, okay, so I'm operating at a really high vibration, and when I get around, and that's not an ego thing, and so when I get around people that are operating at more of a personal identity level, a lower vibration, still consciousness, just more a more constricted form of consciousness, it's really fun right at first, and everybody just seems like they're clicking, and I wrote part of a poem once. I can't remember all of it right now, but the first part is because there was this phenomenon that happened. I noticed over and over that when I would meet somebody, oh, they're saying that I was feeling their soul also, our I was feeling our that familiarity of being one. Wow, I didn't realize that. What else was I picking up on? Oh, yes, the poem was, they're reflecting in your eyes. Is that you I see? Or is it now my very soul that's looking back at me? I get around people, and I'm happy when I'm talking to people. I'm just happy, and it's contagious, and they're happy too. And then I feel that maybe the husband made some comment because they found out that I'm a grandma, and they perceived that I was like, much younger. That's not an ego thing either. It's just been my experience. People think I'm much younger than I am, and therefore very naive also, which is really far from the truth. However, so after a little time goes by, I sense that the wife is feeling insecure around me, which definitely breeds this jealous feeling and feelings of animosity towards me, even though she doesn't know me. It's her own insecurity. It's me mirroring her. What's she's already feeling insecure. They're saying that's so true. And the husband's body language is so incredibly open, legs wide open to me, wide open, beaming smile right into my face. Body language can tell you a lot about somebody, and I really appreciate the niceness. However, not reacting to any of the awkwardness of setting extremely loving boundaries for myself. This is my life. I would have never taken that job with these people if they would have been like, yes, you will be in a position to see, they're working on my throat chakra, and I am too. I would have never taken this job if I would have been put in that position. If they would have said, yes, you're going to clean houses with two perfectionist people there. No, I wouldn't have, because I'm not, no, I don't feel comfortable with that. So it's absolutely amazing not reacting, the clarity that I've been getting that's been coming in from the silence, from, just being. Let me see where I'm at time wise. I got to dream about my twin. He is so present with me. Oh, it's so life giving. It's hard to explain at this point, but I know where I am in my person's evolution. Our beings don't evolve; they stay the same. Oh, isn't that just so wonderful? Just that thought alone is so joy producing. And see, the tears came up, the emotion came up, but just the beauty of it, of self acceptance. And in my last video, I believe it was my last video, or the one before, I said, yep, I'm going to cry for the next 50 years. So if my crying annoys you, please don't watch. And ever since then, it's amazing. Self acceptance leads to balance, it leads to just being myself, and I know that there will always be an opportunity for me to feel more balanced. And I'm not just stopping at, oh, I'm just always going to cry, but there's, accepting it as it is right now is freedom. Freedom. So I got to dream about my twin, and I feel his, I've mentioned this recently, I feel his acceptance of our connection and his lack of resistance. I was stepping over some rocks. I go out in the woods by the river every day. I have a few different places we go, the dogs and I, and I was stepping over rocks and not looking for anything, and there was two beautiful duck feathers. Beautiful. I don't have any duck feathers that look like these. And I was thinking about recently when I was the innkeeper at this place and he was my boss. Um, I just kept finding, and I knew that he was my twin. I just kept finding these dual, like twin signs, and there were these. I went down to the water's edge one day, and there was these two white feathers, and the tip of the feathers, the pin feather, the pin part, were connected, but not hooked, but connected in the water, and it just took my breath away. I knew it represented us. And hummingbirds were coming near me, bright orange and green hummingbirds. That hasn't happened since. Magical things. This cross I found in a riverbank when I was in his vicinity. Magical. This feeling I've never ever had before. And it's not just regular love. It's not even love. No. It's because they're saying we've done separately so much work on ourselves, and so much shedding of the unnecessary, and even if we don't come into physical union separately but together, we will help the planet in such an extraordinary way, just a unique way, that, well, I don't know, but I know that it's happening, and I know that where I am in my person's evolution, I am at the very tail end of what I've been shedding for the last 7 years. Almost 7 years now. I know. I absolutely know. I feel like I've never felt before. I'm so excited that I got my 30-day notice. I know I was bawling about that. Just the release, just the relief of knowing that I get to go now. Because I've been letting the divine guide me, I really have, to the best of my ability. When I first started out and I would reach a tower moment when everything was breaking down and I didn't know where I was going to go next, I would literally be convulsing. So, because I wanted to react to my fear, so the fear so bad. But I would just like, no, I'm waiting. And an answer would come. Not that people shouldn't take actions, but the shed that I've been going through, it sounded like shit, but yeah, it's true, both ways. The shed that I've been going through, it has required me to do my very best to not react to fear. because, it's my purpose on the planet is to overcome fear so I can help other people overcome it. Because that's really, they're just showing me that weight that holds the veil down for incredibly unconscious beings. So I got to see my twin in our dreams the other night. I believe it's real. For me, it's real. It was a visitation. And there's this street called Baker Avenue, and he doesn't realize. It's so funny. I've laughed out loud, like gut laughed, because I saw him last summer on Baker Avenue, and that's usually where I see him,. But I don't usually turn around. I have a few times in the last several years to see if he is where I think he is, getting his coffee, and he hasn't been there. And this last time, last summer, I saw him, and I said, nope, I'm not turning around. And so I ran my errand, and I was just like, okay, do I go right or do I go left? And I went left, and I said, okay, if he's there, I'm going in. I'm talking to him. And he was there. Oh, I was just shaking violently and had to get centered. And I went in, and he's 6'5" and I'm 5'3", and I looked up, and oh my gosh, it was so exciting and scary and just terrifying and just so magnificent too, because I hadn't talked to him for a really long time. Shh. Anyway, so he jumped, and it was just so awesome. It really made me laugh, and we walked out together and had like a, I don't know, 8 to 10 minute conversation. And so after that, I saw him right after that, just a few days after that, and he saw me coming too, and he like acted like he was doing something. He got really scared, because he like thought I was gonna like go find him again, but he didn't realize that I've seen him a lot, but no, I'm not pursuing. I'm not. No way. Nope. Divine. It's divine timing, not my person's timing. I have been compelled to go see him. Let's see, when did I go see him? With my boss. We went to look for an apartment. That's all I can remember right now. I think there was one other time. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so we're passing each other on Baker Avenue in Dreamtime just a couple nights ago, and I looked up in his truck window, and he looked down in my car window, face to face, like no avoidance. Absolutely, his whole body was turned towards me, looking me right in the face, and I was looking him right in the face. Oh my gosh, and he was serious too. Like, he was serious, and I know you're serious. I don't know if he's watching, but I know you're serious, and take your time. And I always remember this poem I wrote. I remembered it today, a little bit of it. Take your time, that's fine with me. The longer you take, the more I see. Love you so much. Let me know if you're on the struggle bus with anything. We'll have a talk.